Yo, how can I forget this? I was at the Dreamville show, the one
The
in.
one where J. Cole apologized.
Yeah, I was
The
there.
Dreamville
I was
Fest.
there, and I was telling my DJ
Wow.
that like, yo, he's about to apologize.
You knew he was about to apologize?
Yeah, because
How
cause
did you
like,
know? He came and
so
talked
we
about it?
on the first few days of the tour, Baz had taken us.
Woo! It's your boy Mawand here at Lit Live. Hey, we got our guy Blxckie in the
What's going
house.
on, brother?
Dog, congrats on
Thank you,
everything. You've
thank
had a
you.
hell of a couple years.
You know, we try our best.
Man, multiple awards. It's so dope to see the rise in just music from Africa in general,
For
right?
sure.
Like all parts of it, whether it's hip hop, whether it's I've heard like dance records coming out,
Yeah.
Tyler coming out, like yourself. I mean, we had what's his name? Damn, I'm forgetting. Anyway, we've had uh Byron Messia who did Taliban's like
Oh, crazy.
so many records are coming out, and you're on the forefront of this, bro. You guys are taking over the global charts.
Yeah, man. I
I,
mean, it's always been like very rhythmic, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Very cultural, very spiritual people in Africa in general, but you know, in South Africa too. So I think that's what's happening right now. Like just that whole vibe and culture is just being investigated and it's being
Yes.
promoted a lot. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
a good
think
time.
with the internet now and stuff, it's so much more accessible for like Empire, Def Jam, and all these labels globally to go tap in with these artists
For sure.
and then be able to take that music back and spread it around the world. Because like what's super cool too, what I've been realizing over this past year is we in America love like music from anywhere, whether it's the UK, whether it's like Toronto, whether it's anywhere, Barbados, when people are using English with like a different accent, we love it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
different slang.
For sure.
You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
We find different ways to say things.
Yeah, and I think also just the global community just wants to connect more, you know.
Yeah.
So after seeing maybe like your favorite influencer from Australia speak, you're like, I wonder what the music from there sounds like. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's
yeah.
always like refreshing to hear that, and you know,
Yeah, I feel like we're almost bored of the same thing. Like a lot of our US born artists have been all trying to sound like each other. And then that's why like when Central C comes out and
yeah,
we hear someone saying like my man's Muslim, he hustle on Christmas Day. I remember
yeah,
the first time I heard that I was like the way he just said Christmas Day. I never heard anyone even. So same with your
wow,
music like when I go through before now it's just
yeah,
like we're speaking the same language but it's so different. You know what I mean?
I
And
feel
it's
you.
such a vibe. There's so much sauce over it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate that.
No,
Thank you for
of course,
bumping it.
man.
Yeah.
How do you feel like is it like a new cuz you've dominated in a lot of markets, like dominated, won awards, charted all that. And then coming over here to the States, you're like throwing in the pool of blood with the J. Cole's. You're competing on a week to week basis with, you know what I mean, with
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
that's charting, with Taylor Swift charting in the US.
I
And
feel you.
does it feel like a new fresh challenge or is it, how does that feel?
Um, yeah, it does feel like a new fresh challenge. Like the main goal, like from the beginning, well, the first phase of the main goal was always to get out here to America because obviously we're making hip hop and R&B where in a country where that's not where it's not homegrown in South Africa,
Mm,
but you know we do it well and we do it
very
the way
well.
we do it, but
Yeah.
it's like it's always dope to come to the base and where it all started and sort
Mm,
of figure out like the people that grew up in it, like how they feel about what you're making. So
yeah.
to have that sort of access, that's always been like the first goal.
Hmm.
And then yeah, man, it's just like now we're here and we're working, and it's like you just have to restart the whole process that you started in South Africa or Africa in general. It's like starting from point zero, and you
Absolutely
know we're
right.
just working our way up, doing all
Do
the work that
you
needs
do
to be
you
done.
enjoy that process, or is it more of like, damn it, like I got to do this again, I got to reintroduce myself, or do you
I
enjoy
mean,
it?
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Especially because we've always been looking to America, you know, for
Hmm.
inspiration, and
Hmm.
you know, the our media is mostly, you know, American media. Like the
Yeah.
stuff we enjoy, our TikToks are full of like American. So it's like when we get here, it's a good vibe, and we're like, okay, cool, we here, and it's like all enjoyable. But it's like, okay, let's get to the work. Let's do what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's like I don't dread it. You know what I mean?
I love that, man.
It's just part of the process.
Yeah.
We have to do it. Yeah,
I love that you appreciate the journey.
for
I
sure.
read this book a couple years ago, The Alchemist, where the guy talks about trying to find this treasure and at the end of the book, he finds it where he was at the beginning of the book. And the whole point of the book was like, if you don't appreciate the journey, like it's never about the destination, it's about the journey. And so
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who pop off in their hometown or their home country or their home continent, and then they try to take a different market and they get frustrated
Yeah.
having to go through those steps.
It's understandable for sure because um it's not it's definitely not as easy, but then like when you started it in your home country or wherever you're from, you didn't know how easy or difficult it's gonna be. You were just in the moment and doing your thing. So the only way to look at it that's gonna help you move forward is to be like, I don't know how it's gonna go, but as long as I, implement the same consistency and the same practice and the same drive, then something should happen. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. You knew you were gonna be here. You know what I mean?
I
It
mean,
was all part of the plan.
it's part of the goal, but
Yeah.
definitely not part of the plan. And just for it to happen so quickly, it's all just
It's
it's dope.
amazing, man. What a legendary home like for your music, like Def Jam. You know what I mean? What a
Fire.
beautiful way to get like properly introduced to this market and to other markets that it's like, oh, Def Jam, because
Yeah,
like that screams hip hop to me.
for sure.
Nothing screams you like American hip hop to me more than the two words Def Jam.
Crazy.
How
Yeah,
did
yeah,
that
that
feel?
makes
Did it
sense.
feel surreal?
Um, yeah, I feel like, as I said, like you never know how far the music reaches until something like that sort of pops up, because it's always been a thing of there are people there. There is like there are like a few people that enjoy the music that are out there in America, but like, is it worth it to go there and try something?
Mm.
And then when you get like the call from you know guys to be like, yo, um this or that, or this label or that label is looking into you, they're trying to figure out like how you feel about doing these certain things. It's like, okay, cool. So I mean, the people that are there see the value,
Hmm.
so why can't I see it? So it's dope. And then when we got to pin it down, um I didn't really, how can I say, it didn't really register,
It didn't. Yeah.
yeah, until like we got here and met with the people, and
You're
it's
in
like,
the
oh, okay,
offices.
yeah, yeah, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
we're here now.
And I can't imagine now I can't imagine Blackie like how it feels for you going back home now. And everyone now it's changed, because
For
they
sure.
they've seen you on these US based publications and these they
Yeah.
see you on radio and they see you at the award shows. Do you feel a lot of pressure to like take on all that responsibility? Because I'm sure you got tons of family members that it's like, damn, I got to make sure they're okay and they're
Yeah.
okay and they're okay.
I mean, I've always instilled, in myself, like the lesson of keeping the right people around you, and having them be safe and good, priority
Mm,
before anything.
that's
Um,
good.
but other than that, like, the fans that are on the journey, like, it's never any different when I get back, because they see everything happen. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not very secretive. I mean, there are some things that I
Of
that I
course, of
wouldn't put on
course, of
social
course.
media, but it's like, most of it, that's about business and about me coming up, like, they know all about it. So it's just more excitement, you know what I'm saying, and it's
Hmm.
more to look forward to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you seem like the kind of guy who would take on that role of being a leader to your family and your friends. And I always tell people becoming an artist, becoming a successful artist, is the hardest career in the world. If you want to be a doctor, it takes like 10 years of school on average,
Mm,
wherever you are. If you want to be a lawyer, it's like 5, 6 years of school.
sure.
If you want to be an artist, it's like 10 to 15 years of grinding. There's
Yeah.
no guarantee. You can go through this whole process
And then nothing
and have
happens.
nothing. You can go through the whole process and be bankrupt and broke and have no degree and have
Yeah.
more, Warner Records 500,000 and this
Sure.
label
And
that.
that's actually the more common,
The most
yeah,
common
the
outcome.
outcome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always applaud people. And I think when I see somebody like you at your age so successful, like obviously this man, so look at this, you know what I mean? This man is successful. Like it's so impressive to me because now I know that you're going to take on that role of being a leader to everyone around you. You know what I
Sure.
mean? It's not
Sure.
like what I meant to say was it's not easy for you. Nothing you have done has been easy. And so I imagine you are like the leader in your like people, your group
I
of people.
feel
It's like when you were like, "Hey, we're traveling here," where everyone's traveling there.
you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's actually the truth. Like, now that I think about it, like, it's not even that it's like difficult. It's just like the work that you put in is so much, you know, and it's like there's a point where like you change and be like, hey, I'm gonna put in more work and stuff like that, and then like sometimes it doesn't end up
Does
happening.
absolutely.
So I'm grateful to be in this position. I'm grateful to help anyone that's around me. I'm grateful to be able to travel and do all this work. But yeah, man, it's just yeah, it's
Well,
dope.
we're here, man. You've
We're in LA.
you've done incredible things, and the to me the most exciting part as like a fan is, as far as like your like signing with Def Jam and being here and impacting our charts here. This is a brand new journey for you. You know what
For
I mean?
sure.
You know how you like become a really big fan of somebody when they play in college or for like a small club team,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then now it's like they're on PSG, and
For
now
sure.
it's like you're. To me, it's like you've already done such incredible things. You've won countless awards, like so many awards, bro, and you've got millions of streams. You've done all these great things, but also it's like cool. I can't wait to see what you do with it now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because it's like there's obviously that's already there and it's facts and it's everything that we've done and accomplished, but it's like, let's take it further. It's
Yeah,
never I don't think it's fun to be comfortable and complacent, you know what I mean? Just chilling in SA and doing, you know, few shows every month or whatever. But the the enjoyment of this whole thing is the challenges, you know what I
mm,
mean? Just like being able to overcome them and being able to know that okay, I've taken this many steps forward, or
yeah.
even I've taken this many steps back, and now I'm about to bounce back and do even
Yeah.
crazier things. Yeah.
I
So
love that you appreciate the journey. A lot of people don't. I talk to a lot of artists who might be charting like top 10 at the moment, and you feel the pain in them. You know what I mean? I can tell like you're appreciating every obstacle you have, every accomplishment you have.
for sure.
I do got to give you a challenge though. So I give everybody a CD from my CD collection.
Oh,
So I
wild.
brought a bunch of CDs, and when I was getting ready for you, there was two specific artists who had been very inspirational to you, or very. So I'm gonna give you both CDs. I want you to pick which one you can
Which
keep
one?
it.
Well, which one not to keep?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
you can keep the album. This is from my actual CD collection. I wanted to pick two CDs that I felt probably impacted you a lot. So I wanted to give you that
Oh
Kendrick Lamar "Damn"
wow.
and that
Oh, this
Drake
is
"Nothing
actually
Was
a
the
real
Same."
challenge. Cause right now,
Which album would you say impacted you more?
I think the one that came out earlier, so probably the Drake one.
Probably the Drake one.
Yeah,
I
this is more recent.
I didn't have Good Kid, Mad City at home. That's what I would have
Yeah.
done. It would have been Good Kid, Mad City, and Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wanted to give you those because obviously what's happening right now.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I had to get your opinion on this because one of my really good friends is a die-hard Drake fan.
For sure.
And I really saw the like kind of the toll it took, not the toll, but where he's like, damn, Drake, like get up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Drake at first to me was doing incredible like push ups. So I was like, oh, god damn.
Yeah.
And then when he dropped Family Matters, I told my girl, she's like, babe, Drake dropped. I was like, I've already heard it twice. And I told her, I was like, oh my God,
It's
like
going down.
Drake got him with the uppercut. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm a die hard Kendrick guy. So I
For
was hella
sure.
worried. And then my girl sat down to listen to Family Matters. Before we got through it the next time, my buddy texted me,
Yeah.
yo, Kendrick dropped. And then,
Then
so
he
it's
kept
such a
dropping
roller
after that
coaster.
too. Yeah.
But you were so heavily impacted by both of these artists.
For
I was
sure.
just a diehard Kendrick guy. No ill will against Drake, just diehard Kendrick guy.
Yeah.
For you being so, right, like influenced by both, impacted by both, what was your like roller coaster of emotions? How do you feel
During
now
this whole
about
thing
it?
that's going on now.
Yeah, and how
Um,
like that night, where were you the night Family Matters dropped and Meet the Grams dropped?
I was
Because you're
so
a
I'm
big
a
fan
I'm
of
a
both. Everyone, he's a big fan of both.
yeah I'm a big fan of Kendrick because of just how far back it goes. Like just when I started listening to him, like it was during like rigor mortis times, like the hard part one times. You know what I
Section
mean?
80, bro.
That's
Yes,
where I was at with
me too.
Drake. It's different because it's not like I went to search for it. It was more like there on TV. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I really have no choice. But then, after that, then you end up being like, okay, let's see what else you got.
yeah.
But with Kendrick, it was more like, what's going on in America. Oh, there's this guy named Kendrick. Okay, let me see what's going. Because most of those songs and stuff didn't have any videos or anything,
No,
especially
no.
back in SA. Like you,
And he wasn't put on by anybody. he did have like the Dr. Dre cosign, which was huge.
Yeah.
But he up until he did Poetic Justice with Drake, actually, ironically, Kendrick had dropped most of his stuff. Him and his guys. It was
Sure.
him and Absol, him and Schoolboy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. You had to
So
go discover it.
yeah, I think yeah for me, Kendrick is I'm definitely a Kendrick more of a Kendrick fan. Um, but I think we were still on tour when the
What
the
country were you in?
no I was with Baz out here in
You were in
America.
the States. Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm wondering what time it was because it was so late for us.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what was going on.
It
Like
was like 9 p.m., bro. Like Family
so
Matters dropped at 8 or 9 p.m.
so the cause I remember the day when Cole did his thing.
Yes.
I think we were still there.
Oh, you were with Boss on tour?
Yeah, that's
You were
the
with Boss on tour. You were there? Oh my god! I need to
That
do
was
my research better.
crazy.
Okay, so you were there when he
It was
dropped
crazy.
7 minute,
Yeah.
whatever
So 7 minute.
exercise or something.
Yeah,
It was the Might Delete Later was a project.
yeah.
7 minute
Minute
drill
was like the
7
last
minute
song that
drill.
he just added.
Okay,
I feel like it wasn't even there in the
so you
beginning.
were in the trenches,
You know
bro.
what I mean? So I was like, damn, I'm conflicted. Cause like, you know what I'm saying, Dreamville Camp. You know what I'm saying, Cole and Drake on tour. But like, I'm a Kendrick fan at the same time. So it's like, damn,
Oh
how do
my
I
god, what a
feel
roller
about this?
coaster!
But like, that song was crazy. The 7 minute drill song was dope. Cause we
It
were
was. It
bumping it.
was.
I think Cole had sent it to. I think Cole had sent the tape to Baz because the tape had the HYB, the one
Mhm.
Essential C
Oh
and
yes,
Baz on it.
yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think he had sent it to Baz just to be like, yo, I'm about to drop this right now. But then it dropped like, at midnight or whatever. So we were bumping the whole project and then we got to that song and we're like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's going down.
It made me go back to Pimp a Butterfly. I was
Yeah.
like, "What's To Pimp a Butterfly a classic?" And I heard it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a classic." But that's
Yeah.
crazy. You were with the camp. You were
Yeah, I was with
behind,
the
like,
camp.
you were in the trenches, bro,
It was
during the war.
going down like
Wow.
the
What was
energy was
Boss?
up.
What was Boss going through? I can't. That's my dog. Shout
He
out to
was
Boss.
I
Like,
think we got super lit. I'm trying to remember what city that was, but we got super lit that night because it was one of like I think it was Atlanta. It was Atlanta.
mhm, that makes sense. It's a
I
place where
think it
you.
was
That's a
Atlanta.
place where you would
We
get
got the
super lit.
tacos after, and we were chilling there with like Childish Major and everyone that pulled up. It was fire. Um, and then yeah, like the energy was like super crazy, and it's like oh no. Now I'm saying the Central C song's about to drop, but also Cole's about to pull up, but
Yeah.
his own side of the story and whatever. So yeah, the energy was up. It was lit. Um,
But what about Family Matters? What about that night? Were you on tour
yeah,
with them that night?
I think the tour was done by then. I think I was
Okay.
back in SA by then and just following up on everything. Um, I
Cause I'm
don't
just
know,
wondering what your
cause
roller
that one
coaster of
came out. That one
emotions.
came out with the video too.
That one came out with the
So
video.
yeah, my
Incredible, like
first thing was like,
great
damn,
visual.
he has the whip from the
Good Kid,
album. You
Mad
know what I mean?
City.
So I was like, oh man, that's a bit wild. He might have just did something. You know?
Hmm. No, and the record was good. Like
Yeah, nah.
when he said, Abel said, I had to reach for the waist. I was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's one of the funniest diss bars ever.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I thought Family Matters, Drake hit him with like an uppercut.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, as somebody who's such a big fan, you must have been a roller coaster where you're like, oh, Kendrick's
Yeah.
losing, and then you're like, oh wait, Drake's losing, and then you're like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
so we were cut. Oh, I was also at the how can I forget this? I was at the Dreamville show, the one in
The one where J. Cole apologized.
yeah, I was there.
The Dreamville Fest.
I was there, and I was telling my
Wow.
DJ that like, yo, he's about to apologize.
You knew he was about to apologize?
Yeah, because
How did
like,
you know? He came and
so
talked about it?
on the first few days of the tour, Baz had taken us to see them both when they were doing their whole I don't know what it's called when it was both of them. I think it's all a blur, but then featuring
Oh, yes,
J.
yes,
Cole
yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So we went to go see that, and like I already knew the set like back to back. You know what I mean? So the time when he was doing the whole talk, I knew that Love Yours is coming. But everyone while he was speaking thought that he was about to,
Do
maybe
7 minute
do
drill.
7 minute drill. But I was like, nah, he's gonna do Love Yours, and the only way that he can get the segue into Love Yours is if he, apologizes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
I love that he did that. You know what's funny is there was actually, if you look at Twitter, is really funny because you can see kind of what the popular opinion is at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you can look at the J. Cole hashtag or whatever hashtag. So before Meet the Grams, that all the J. Cole kind of on Twitter, everyone, all the trolls were saying like, "Oh, J. Cole apologized. Wow, softest thing in hip
Yeah.
hop." And then Meet the Grams dropped. Immediately, I remember
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder what they're saying about Cole now. Because immediately it went to J. Cole's the smartest man in America.
Yeah.
Somebody put like Forbes. It was like a fake thing that said Forbes smartest business decision of 2024.
And Cole is there.
Immediately, people realized like, oh no, J. Cole's just a
Yeah.
really smart guy, and
Because
realized
that thing got like really
it had nothing to do with him.
and it went
Kendrick
deep all
never
of a
really dissed
sudden.
him.
Because at
Yeah.
first it was just like just a little Kendrick feature and the thing, and then it was like okay Drake here a little reply or whatever,
Yeah.
and then then it just started getting deep
Nah,
all of a sudden.
you know what? Okay, I've done a deep dive into this, like a documentary type dive into it. The first real disrespectful thing was when on push-ups, actually, Drake, because like that, all Kendrick was saying is, "I'm the best rapper. You two shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I'm the man. I'm the man around here."
for
But he
sure.
never
Which is a
really,
normal hip hop
yeah,
thing
he
to
never
do.
really called them out on anything personal.
Yeah,
Except he said like, "For all your dogs getting buried,
yeah,
like
yeah,
Pet
yeah,
Cemetery." But it was nothing. He just was clearly saying, "Drake, J. Cole, shut up. There's no big three."
yeah,
And then when push-ups happened, that's when all of a sudden Drake said Whitney might need a bodyguard.
yeah,
So when he said Whitney might need a bodyguard, was so cool to me actually was that Kendrick warned him 2 more times. Euphoria, he said, "We can take it there, but that's something you don't want to do."
yeah,
And then he also in Euphoria said, "This is a friendly fade. Don't bring up family.
yeah,
Let's keep it that way." And then he dropped 616 in LA in the
yeah.
morning.
With
Gave him
the
one more warning. Where what was crazy about it is he was telling him, "I know everything you're gonna say. I have an inside scoop." That was his
yeah.
whole point. But
I
then
think that
now,
was also his way of saying like, "Yo, I got stuff in the tuck.
don't
Like,
it,
you don't want me
don't.
to."
He warned him 2 times.
Yeah,
That was the craziest part. And then when Drake came out and said one of those kids might be Dave Freeze, which
yeah,
I don't believe it either way, true or not, doesn't matter. When he did that, I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
Kendrick, you just like." So to me, that's when it got personal, and I'm glad J. Cole got out of it
for
because
sure.
J. Cole's a great. He seems like just a cool dude.
Yeah,
You know, he was outside here. There was a Star Wars bar. I was doing an interview on the first floor,
yeah.
and someone was like, "That's J. Cole," and I was like, "You think J. Cole's walking into a fucking Star Wars bar?" I was like, "Don't tell me to turn around," and I was outside. And I didn't even turn around, and then we saw it. Someone came out and was like, "That was J. Cole." And I was
Crazy.
like, "What the fuck is he doing at the Star Wars bar?" So he's a really good dude,
Yeah,
and I'm glad that that's crazy. You got to experience that whole roller coaster.
yeah.
Him dropping
I got to
7 minute
see
drill,
the whole thing. Yeah,
the whole thing.
that's
So
fire.
yeah, I mean, you had one of the most, I guess, like up and down roller coasters with this whole beef.
Yeah,
Being a
yeah,
fan of
yeah.
everybody, but back to Blxckie, man. Back to your music. Really exciting now for you to just come take on this challenge of the U.S. market. Is there a specific city in America right now that shows you the most love?
um, if I go with the tour, probably here actually.
L.A.
Yeah, if we're going with the tour, but then in general, like if I go according to like social media and like how I feel when I get there and stuff, definitely Atlanta. You know,
Really?
Atlanta's like my type of vibe.
Yeah.
Um,
We call it Southern comfort. When you go to like Atlanta, New Orleans,
isn't
even
that like a
Texas.
drink?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is a drink, and the idea comes from when you're in the South. It feels so warm.
Mm.
Everyone's like, "Good morning. How
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
doing?"
all that.
You go to New York, they're like, "Fuck you." You come to L.A., everyone wants something. Everyone wants a favor.
Yeah,
Atlanta, all of the South of America except Florida. Florida's fucking crazy. The rest of the South has that. Like even Florida has it. It's a Southern comfort.
yeah.
So that makes sense that you
Makes
feel that
sense.
in
Makes
Atlanta.
sense. But I mean, I haven't really done like my own thing yet. So
Okay.
like the first time I came out to America was for South by, I think early last year, to Texas, and then I've been after that. I pulled up just to like record and stuff, and then we did the bus tour. So I haven't really done like anything that's like specifically Blxckie, where I can be like, okay, these people are here specifically for me or
I
whatever,
see what you're saying. That
you
makes
know.
sense. Yeah.
So, but yeah, just going off the times that I've been here, definitely LA and Atlanta are up there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love Bass. Sorry, I love him because when I spoke with him, I gave him the Nas Damian Marley album
yeah,
because I told him I was like, he to me was a clear bridge between the with the sound in the U.S. and the sound in Africa,
for sure.
and he makes it a point to connect with Africa so much,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I think it's so cool now that a few years later, because that was 2 years ago, I talked to him. We were upstairs. 2 years later, I'm talking to an artist signed
Yeah,
to Def Jam now, who's has streams coming in globally,
yeah,
and he brought you on tour.
for sure,
So
for
it's really
sure.
cool to see that he actually really is that bridge.
Yeah, he really gets stuck in, like, especially I haven't seen like what type of person he is in other countries, but when he's in SA, like he makes sure to like tap into everything that's going on. So
Mm,
of course everyone wants to be in South Africa right now because of I'm a piano and wants to figure out who's who in the
yeah,
zoo or
yeah,
whatever.
it wants to get in.
But like with him, it's like I'm gonna go to the clubs and figure out
Oh,
like
he's
the
really in the
real, you know
trenches.
what I mean?
Not
I'm
the
trying to
trenches. I shouldn't say that. He's really in
the
the
trenches.
field.
That's the
He's
right word.
in the field.
Okay, yeah, let's
No,
say the
I'm not.
field.
No, no, I'm not saying that about Africa. He's in the field. He's in the field.
He's in the field. I think that's how he found out about me also because like when you get that
Ah,
deep, like you know, you're gonna hear the
so
right
he
things.
discovered you and actually hand picked you to be on
Yeah, yeah,
tour.
yeah, for sure.
Wow.
We did. I got a cut on the album first. It's a song with it's called U Turn. It's with him and ASAP
Yeah,
Ferg.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we got that first out the way, and then that's after that. Since he was doing the album too, I think it was just like you know easy for him to be like, okay, let's go with Blxckie because he's
Absolutely.
already on the album, or whatever.
Absolutely. And
Um,
it makes sense, I
yeah,
think
well, yeah. Other
your
than that,
fan
like we
bases
cool.
mesh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Other than that, we cool. Like he's done a few shows. We've done a few shows together too out there
Yeah.
in South Africa. So it was dope to be on the tour with him. But yeah, definitely trying to bring him out to SA again to do something.
I love how you say SA because I'm very new to that term. So when the first time you said it, about like 20 minutes ago, whenever it was, here in LA, we say SA. SA is like a slang term for like a Hispanic male. So I was like, oh, look at those essays. Like I grew
Oh,
up with a lot of
like the
Mexicans.
word like the ESE or
No,
whatever.
you keep
How do you
saying,
spell it?
oh, I don't know, SA. Yeah,
E.
ESSA or something
Oh,
like
okay, cool.
ASA. Like I grew up with a lot of Mexicans.
Yeah,
Shout out my
yeah.
best friend Carlos, Victor. We call each other SA and fool. So the first time you said SA, I'm like, damn, he's hip to some LA shit. And then
Not
the second
even.
and third time, I'm like, wait, he's talking about South
South
Africa.
Africa,
So you
yeah.
guys say SA. It's a way
Yeah,
to
we
just
call it
abbreviate
SA, yeah,
South
just for
Africa.
short. South Africa is a bit of a mouthful, but yeah,
Got it. Okay, good to
SA.
know. I'm glad to clear that up because I was like, he's talking about essays. And then I'm like, and then when you said it right now, I'm like, boss, down with the essays. But then I'm like, okay, it's in South Africa. So
Wow.
if I should be more hip to this, but which part of South Africa exactly
Um,
did you guys meet? I should know
so
where you guys met, like what club you was in when he discovered you. But
not, I mean, not really because the clubs he was going to are not like I don't want to say main. There's no such thing as like a mainstream club, but um, I feel like he visits Cape Town a lot. Joburg. The first time he went to South Africa, he told me that he was in Durban. I think at the time I wasn't really into music or whatever.
okay,
So he's been to Durban, Joburg, Cape Town. Um,
so he
the
discovered you
place.
in Cape Town,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
probably.
probably Cape Town. But I think he probably heard my music a lot when he was in Joburg because that's where I'm from and
That's where you
that's
post.
like the music hub
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's where everyone is. But yeah, Cape Town, that's where we met at a club. Do I want to say the name? I forgot the name. Coco.
Coco, shout out Coco, man.
Shout out to
That
Coco, man.
shout out to Boss because that's something he really was telling me he took pride in was connecting like with his roots in Africa and then bringing that back here to America.
For
And you're a
sure.
perfect. You guys together are just a perfect embodiment of the bridge between the two cultures. I do you remember that Nas album? Nas did a whole CD with Damian Marley, and it was all had very like just like Jamaican African roots in it. Just very. It was called Distant Relatives, and it was to connect the U.S. and Africa. So
I've heard that title before.
it's a beautiful album. It's a beautiful.
I
Next
need to
time I'll
type
bring
in.
you that.
Need
Next
to
time
type
I'll bring you
in.
that.
Okay.
So 2024, we're halfway through the year. What do you got planned for the rest of the year?
We're growing the global community. Um, Starting again out here in the U.S. We got the single that just dropped called "Pull Up."
Yeah, pull
Um,
up his fire, man.
Lead
That
single
it's a very good like hybrid of you just being authentically you,
for
but
sure.
then like going with a little more Western U.S. kind of like drums and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dance vibes also. It's
yeah,
summer
yeah.
out here, so I'm trying to get in. And then yeah, we got tape coming out probably like a month from now.
Okay, are you excited about that or
Very,
nervous?
very much so.
Excited?
I'm very much excited.
Is it more like pull up this tape where it's gonna feel very
Nah, I
crossover?
think "Pull Up" is the only song that sounds like that. I think
Okay.
that's why we chose it as like the lead single because there's a lot that it can do for
Yeah.
me
Yeah, yeah, for sure with the
that
dance
some
vibe
of the
and
that some of the songs the
What can we
content.
expect from the rest of the tape?
It's basically an introduction to Blxckie, so anything that I can do will be on there, like,
Okay.
cause it's like, I know that it's gonna be listened to by people that, well, some of the people that are gonna hear the tape are not like, are not didn't grow with me in any way. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it's gonna be their first time hearing of Blxckie, and then it's the first time listening to the music. So it'll be, it is dope to come up with like an idea that's like, okay, this is the starting point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anything that, like, it's not super conceptual. It's not like there's no
Theme
yeah,
going
there's no
through it or
theme going through.
anything.
It's just like, yo, this is Blxckie. This is what he does.
I
You know
like
what I
that.
mean?
It's
Yeah,
a chance to, or not a chance, but it's an opportunity to reintroduce yourself, like
for sure.
a fresh introduction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have your core fans who know you very well and
yeah,
who've been watching your journey, but now it's like, let me go get a new group of core fans,
yeah,
and this is the start of the journey.
sure.
I
Yeah.
love that, man. Have you announced the name of the tape?
Nah, but then, people that follow me, I say it a lot in captions. It's in a few of my bios. I haven't really said that it's the name of the tape, but if you
EA times
follow
four?
me, then you should know. It's not that.
Okay, okay. I was like, damn. Yeah, okay. I was like, I would have been 1 for 1. That's very exciting, man. I'm very excited to see your growth as an artist. Like, it's so cool to see to meet somebody who's already done so much, but you have so much more you want to
For
do.
sure.
And so it's like you've already climbed this mountaintop once, and you willingly were like, okay, I'm gonna go take over that market.
Yeah.
You're going to a whole different challenge, but at the same time, you always have SA in your heart, and you can just go back to Joburg and you're chilling. You know what I mean? At any point, you're back in Joburg and you got the stadiums being sold out, but now you got the challenger coming here and
Yeah,
doing the taking those steps.
for sure.
So
For
it's
sure.
very exciting, man.
Thank
Blxckie,
you.
thank you so much for pulling up to Lit Live.
Right.
We've had an Afrobeat station for like 4 or 5 years, so we try to get in as early as we could.
Yeah,
But now we don't even need it because the music crosses over.
for sure.
It's not even, it's
It's
on the
not
R and
just
B station.
yeah,
It's on the hip hop station,
for sure.
and so we're gonna be supporting your music across the platform.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man,
Appreciate you.
for popping in,
Thank
everybody.
you for. You said
Blxckie.
I must pick one.
Oh, which one do you want to take home with you?
Yeah, this is a
This is
tough
tough.
one.
You got to keep one.
I'm gonna have to go with. I have to go with the.
I respect it. It's more of an ascent. Like, this is what you probably grew up off. You were probably like
Yeah,
much younger, and when
yeah,
Damn came out, you were already making your own music and popping. So I feel that.
yeah.
I feel that.
This
I
one,
respect it.
I feel like I'm gonna. Yeah.
I respect it. Honestly, I would rather keep the Kendrick Lamar Damn. So this is a win-win situation, baby. If you would have taken this, I would have said, damn. Thank you so much,
Bars.
bro. Our guy Blxckie here at Lit Live. BET Awards Week. You know we got to catch up with all the stars, everybody in town. And I said this a few times earlier, and I feel it this time too. In a year from now, I will not be able to get a hold of you, so I'm glad I was chopping up with you now.
We'll make it happen.
Nah,
You
there's
know, it's
no
on
way.
it's on record, so
There's no way,
you're gonna
man.
have to be like,
You know
yo,
who I
Blxckie.
chopped it
This
up with
is
a
what
year
you
ago?
said.
Last BET Awards? Stone Boy.
Oh,
Couldn't get Stone Boy back. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. No, I didn't even reach out. But
yeah.
you're definitely, this is your time. And I'm very excited to see this next year and 2 years of your journey, man.
Appreciate that.
Blxckie,
Thank you so
thank you so
much.
much. Lit Live, we're out. Boom.